Same. Same, yeah? Same pressure. Okay. We checked before. So between 13 and 15 psi. Okay.
Just on the 5 minutes before the starts, next set of matches, 4 set of matches of the day. Argentina, Japan, or and France against the Australian Powerchair on Court B.
It's like yesterday, same day. Same pressure. Same pressure every day.
Where are those Argentinian fans?
So warm-ups nearly complete here on Court B at Quaycentre in Sydney. Don't forget there are still 2 days of the FIPFA 2023 Powerchair Football World Cup to go. Jump on to FIPFA.org. You can see the schedule tomorrow. Australia has 2 games where they will be a very warm favourite against both Northern Ireland and the Republic of Ireland. Republic of Ireland who broke through to win their first game today. Northern Ireland still winless. But will Australia be in a position where they can still make the top 4 is the question. And their goal difference is perhaps of a concern before this game even kicks off. Never mind what may happen after. The French have not let up. They've been absolutely merciless in this tournament. Momo Galami, 15 goals for the campaign. Aurélien Filatre, 6. Brian Weiss, 5. Australia's top scorer. Abdullah Karim has 5 of his own for the tournament. Lineups: France with Sylvain Malard, Morgan Lafante, Brian Weiss, and the top scorer Momo Galami as their 4. Australia have made a couple of changes from this morning's team. Chris Turnbull and Luke David, neither of whom we saw feature in the early game against Denmark, are starting. Beck Evans and Dimitri Leolio-Davis are also the starting 4. James Mellows, head referee of New South Wales Powerchair Football, is with me in commentary. James, what do you make of the Australian lineup to take on this France challenge?
It's still a very strong lineup. They want to give some guys some game time. 2 very important games tomorrow, so they're obviously managing their roster, but they're certainly not disrespecting the French, and they're certainly not putting up a lineup that is just going to get the job done.
France have been pretty ruthless. 8 past Northern Ireland, 7 past Japan, 6 each past Argentina and the Republic of Ireland. So they don't let up. Will they show any charity to Australia as a very accommodating host nation? And in fact, I'm being told that Australia is getting rave reviews as host due to the logistics, the hotels and the amenities here for this tournament. So do you think that might sneak into the back of France's minds if they do get a big lead and decide maybe not to keep the foot on the pedal?
Well, the French do what the French always do. They're a quality team. They pass it around. They have a great structure and they'll create chances. Perhaps in the last 10 minutes you did see that against Northern Ireland, where they put their substitutes on to give them a run and to give the starting lineup a rest. So depending on what the score is, that's certainly an option. But hopefully it's closer than that towards the end of the second half.
Australia about to break out of their huddle. If they were to even get a draw, it would be a superb result. Give us your prediction, James. I know you're an optimist about Australia, but what do you think the score might end up being? The predictor has 100% for France, and the average prediction is 4-1 France.
I think that's a reasonable suggestion. I myself would have gone 4-0. Anything worse than that for the Australians, they wouldn't be satisfied. France are definitely going to put the foot down in the first half, and they'll want a few goals to show for it.
Well, it was 6-1 yesterday afternoon when Australia faced England. What have they learnt from that experience as we kick off? And Dimitri Leolio-Davis gets Australia's 7th group game underway. 7 of 9, 2 to come tomorrow. And let's recap the table for you, factoring in the afternoon games. France have 19 points on the live table because this game is currently a draw. USA 15, England 12, Denmark 10. As we see Luke David go in here and challenge Brian Weiss. France inviting Australia on, wanted them to press. They weren't going to move it out of defence. We'll come back to the table in a moment because now we have movement. And 𝐏𝐫𝐅𝐏𝐿 up against Leolio-Davis. What a test this will be for Australia to deal with Momo 𝐏𝐿𝐼. Sends it central, Brian Weiss. And now Lafante. And he's not able to send it back towards the target. It is out. And a 2-on-1 violation goes France's way. Denmark on 10 points. Argentina having played a game extra on 8. Japan similar on 7. Australia similar on 7. Uruguay, same number of games as Denmark on 6. And then Republic of Ireland 4, Northern Ireland 2. So...
And just while there's a break in play, looking at the table, there are actually 4 teams that can legitimately make that 4th spot. Regardless of this result, Australia can still get 2 wins tomorrow. And so they just need Japan to do a favour for them against Denmark. But definitely 4 teams in the race for that 4th spot.
And that's the thing. If Australia were to win here, all of a sudden they could take back control of their own destiny. But that would be a very tall order. Here's the free kick from Weiss across the face. Lafante, good save. Well done by Chris Turnbull to block the shot against the post and keep it out. And now the counter-attack is on. Luke David turning inside. And he went forward with a bit of dare and dash, but couldn't keep possession of the ball. Now Leolio-Davis. Australia not taking a backward step against the French team. And Leolio-Davis has done magnificently well to win the duel against Brian Weiss. Turns inside. Beck Evans. Well, loses out to 𝐏𝐿𝐼. Luke David was flying down the left flank, and that's left Australia exposed. 𝐏𝐿𝐼 one-on-one against the keeper. And Turnbull's able to foil him initially. Weiss, 𝐏𝐿𝐼 blocked on the line by Leolio-Davis. Well positioned. French bench crying that it's a 2-on-1. They may have had a decent shout, but Beck Evans is able to prevail in this instance. And as the ball finds its way in, what good positioning from Dimitri Leolio-Davis, and a couple of close shaves for Australia already.
Oh, Turnbull absolutely did well there. He read it at the far post, was able to get a little touch on it, put it onto the post and get it out.
France looking ominous. And the cross, well, it bobbles up. 𝐏𝐿𝐼's got Lafante down in the right corner, but Luke David's not going to let him progress. Turnbull, 𝐏𝐿𝐼, Leolio-Davis, and the referee, Carolyn Beaton, has seen a 2-on-1 there. It'll be a free kick for France.
And that's really going to be the biggest issue for the Australians in defence. The France very good passing it around. And Australia will just have to keep putting pressure on, but occasionally they will just encroach that 3 metres and give the 2-on-1 winner.
Brian Weiss shooting across the face, and 𝐏𝐨𝐰𝐏𝐅𝐀 might have been looking for just the edge of his frame there to knock that in, but ended up catching none of the ball. And so out it goes, and we've had 4 minutes of action. Scoreless. If you're not familiar with the Powerchair football format, it is 2 halves of 20 minutes. Crowd not quite as raucous as earlier today during the Denmark game, when we had about 1,500 school children in the arena. A passionate following, but certainly not as voluminous as earlier today.
Oh, it was a fantastic environment earlier. Lots of strong support for lots of the games.
Beck Evans starting to make a move. And 𝐏𝐨𝐰𝐏𝐅𝐀, he can do it at both ends. He can score goals, he can get back and cover in defence. And now he's away. Leolio Davis has to take him on. And 𝐏𝐨𝐰𝐏𝐅𝐀 watches the ball roll out for a goal kick. And the Australia fans on the opposite side of the arena starting to cheer and applaud and watch on in hope. Luke David, powerful shot, always going across the face though. And the Australia bench encouraged by what they've seen. Weiss, blocked away by Luke David. So Australia have looked a match for France so far through 5.5 minutes.
No, I agree. They're definitely pressing the French whenever they get into their half. And some promising signs for Australia. They're actually able to play out and get into the opposition half. So we'll see if that stays.
Lafante. France score. Morgan Lafante able to get the angles spot on. Australia didn't have the covering numbers back. We're being told it's an own goal. Well, I didn't quite catch who happened to be paid as an own goal too, but Lafante's ball in from the right flank is definitely what set the goal up.
Yeah, that may have come off the back of Leolio Davis's chair there. I suspect 𝐏𝐨𝐰𝐏𝐅𝐀 was going for the cross at the far post, and it's just touched the chair and gone in.
So France 1, Australia 0. And now David saw the blind spin there from Weiss. Was able to avoid contact, but now he finds himself in a duel. And the ball has been worked out. France will get the kick in. So the goalkeeper, Maillard, it's a long way up. Got to be exact in order to avoid conceding the counter-attack. France ultimately yield to give up a kick in.
And again, that was a great high press by Luke David there.
Evans, David, Evans, the chance here for Australia. Weiss got himself in the right position. It wasn't a shot on target in the end. Just perhaps an attempt at a return pass instead. Lafante from a long way out, and that goes across the pitch without presenting any real threat to the Australian goal. And we're just seeing a bit of running repairs being done by the Australia support crew. Looks as though the communication equipment for Chris Turnbull is being updated. Now tell me, why do the players wear the microphones and the communication equipment?
Well, due to some of their medical conditions, they aren't able to get the volume with their voice and shout out. So a lot of the players will have a speaker to augment and amplify their voice so they can communicate on the court.
Leolio Davis. 𝐏𝐨𝐰𝐏𝐅𝐀 back to Weiss, and Luke David doing a good job defending from the front. France will be trapped down in the defensive half.
And that's the kind of thing the Australians need to do. They need to defend high so they don't have that pressure in the final third.
𝐏𝐨𝐰𝐏𝐅𝐀, great evasiveness, just able to evade Evans, and now as the ball moves on, Luke David, he's back, he's working hard. 𝐿𝐨𝐨𝐭 comes away with the ball.
They've just blown a 2-on-1 there against the French for being too close in attack.
Maillard as far as Weiss. And now France on the move. Well played by Turnbull to come out of his line. And the referee is whistling for play to stop because we've got a restart here.
Yeah, Turnbull, great defending, came out of the box, but ultimately gave away the 2-on-1 when he won the ball.
Restart for France. It's rolling wide of the target. Will it be a corner or a goal kick, though? Goal kick's the signal. Now, we have two assistant referees here at the international level, but what's the reality at state league level? Are you always able to find two referees, or is it the centre referee just have to do a whole lot more running?
So we do have a set of referees. We had 4 regular referees, and most of the time we had a centre and 2 lines. We're going on a recruitment drive for the New South Wales competition. There are a number of interested players, interested referees, especially from the futsal competition, which is very similar potentially to what we see here. But for example, at the club championships, we had 6 referees from across the country covering 10 games a day. So very tough. You're always doing something. Very similar at this championship. We've got 12 international referees, again doing 12 games a day, and they are working hard, doing a great job.
Lafante, and now 𝐏𝐨𝐰𝐏𝐅𝐀. Can he find space? Momo 𝐏𝐨𝐰𝐏𝐅𝐀. Well, he was recoiling to shoot and never did. Now he unleashes a cross instead. And it is intercepted by 𝐿𝐨𝐨𝐭. The keeper was out. The keeper was out, and Dimitri 𝐿𝐨𝐨 could see an end-to-end drive ahead of him, but it wasn't able to make it work. Well, for anyone whose interest has been piqued by watching this tournament and might want to become a referee, at least if they're in New South Wales, where can they go to find out more?
On the New South Wales Powerchair website, they can leave a comment and a message. And with the appropriate details, we'll be able to get back to them. Hopefully,
Just like an increase in the ability for players to play, there will be an increase in support staff, referees. Game just drifting. French crowd starting to chant. 𝐏𝐨𝐰𝐏𝐅𝐀, Lafante. Oh, 𝐏𝐨𝐰𝐏𝐅𝐏𝐿 didn't want to spin blind. He was aware that Beck Evans was in the vicinity, and he didn't want to go full throttle with a blind turn in case he collected an opponent. You're at risk of a potential free kick and a yellow card if you go too hard doing that.
Oh, definitely. That's the big thing in this sport. If you do a blind turn and you make contact, you're at the referee's whim, really.
𝐏𝐨𝐰𝐏𝐅𝐾 able to emerge from his one-on-one with 𝐿𝐨𝐨. Australia are going to be careful not to converge too quickly. And 𝐿𝐨𝐨 has managed really well. But he's dispossessed here by Weiss. 𝐏𝐨𝐰𝐏𝐅𝐾 intercepted once. Turnbull with the save. Weiss off the back of Turnbull. And now 𝐏𝐨𝐰𝐏𝐅𝐾 wheeling back around. Oh, nearly taken out by Luke David, but he couldn't get the ball. Look at the control here from 𝐏𝐨𝐿𝐼𝐏𝐿. Thrilling run. Into the box he goes. He spins and shoots. And it sits up a run. Weiss. And he went for the return pass rather than the tap in. Now the goalkeeper Turnbull is drawn well out of his area. And Turnbull's able to clear, and the Australia fans appreciate the defensive hustle. Now the net's open. If Australia are quick enough, David, can he get round 𝐏𝐿𝐼𝐏𝐿? No, he can't. And it's a 2-on-1 call going Australia's way, but that'll give France the chance to get back on defence. David, 𝐿𝐨𝐿𝐼𝐏𝐿. Luke David, saved by Maillard. And he finds the line, not able to find a teammate. Weiss anticipated the free kick. 𝐿𝐨𝐿𝐼𝐏𝐿 has to get across and cover. Weiss is trying to move past him on the left and does. Cuts it back. 𝐏𝐿𝐼𝐏𝐿. Weiss loads up. Saved. Good save by Turnbull. And now 𝐿𝐨𝐿𝐼𝐏𝐿 trying to weave through midfield, but 𝐏𝐿𝐼𝐏𝐿's always such a difficult obstacle to pass. 𝐏𝐿𝐼𝐏𝐿, Weiss. Saved again by Turnbull. Maillard out off his line at halfway. 𝐏𝐿𝐼𝐏𝐿 again just pulled out of the blind turn there to make sure he didn't swing in a dangerous fashion. 𝐏𝐿𝐼𝐏𝐿 hard against the post, and it's out for a corner kick.
But again, very strong defending by Australia. They're actually playing a really good game at the moment, very high press, and they're rotating around in defence. They haven't got a structure where they have a single person in the centre of defence, and it's working for them. Anyway, difficult set piece here to defend, so we'll see how they go.
Weiss to take, free kick right at the edge of the box. And unlike a corner, it's right up against the edge of the penalty area. He loads up. Lafante trying to position himself. Weiss, Lafante. The immediate shout is 2-on-1. And the referee agrees. Free kick going Australia's way. So for those not familiar, explain to us why that was a 2-on-1.
So the 2-on-1 is where you've got two players of the same team within 3 metres of the ball, with a defender present as well. And unfortunately, with the two French players were 3 metres apart. So as soon as the ball was touched, it was always going to be a 2-on-1.
Well, almost 17 minutes now. France looking for a second. Just wide, Lafante. There's been a couple of escapes for Australia in this first half, but for the most part, they are hanging in there at only 1-0 to score. The final 3 minutes of the half will be the big test of concentration. Australia not seemingly turning to their bench just yet. Perhaps the biggest surprise is the absence of Josh Merkis from the starting lineup, given how important he's been throughout the tournament. 2-on-1, free kick Australia's way.
And Australia really causing some problems. You know, the French usually very well controlled in the midfields, but Australia, with their high press and their passing game, they're starting to get the French maybe a little bit rattled while they're in the defensive half.
𝐿𝐨𝐿𝐼𝐏𝐿, Evans, 𝐏𝐿𝐼𝐏𝐿, 𝐿𝐨𝐿𝐼𝐏𝐿. Block tackle, now at the edge of the penalty area. 𝐏𝐿𝐼𝐏𝐿 almost around Turnbull. Turnbull's backtracking. 𝐿𝐨𝐿𝐼𝐏𝐿 is able to make it a 2-on-1 that's legal. And then the ball down in the corner. It's rolling, it's out.
No, that's well won by 𝐏𝐿𝐼𝐏𝐿, winning the corner there off the back of Evans' chair. Very dangerous set piece here. Australia need to keep this one out if they want to get anything out of this first half.
Weiss. 𝐏𝐨𝐰𝐏𝐅𝐀 shoots wide left. And so France, a first half where the ball has spent plenty of time down at their attacking end. Well, a 2-on-1 call against Australia, so they're not going to get out of the defensive third just yet.
Big pressure on Australia.
Weiss, blocked away by Leolio Davis. 𝐏𝐨𝐰𝐏𝐅𝐀. Lafante. 𝐏𝐨𝐰𝐏𝐅𝐀. Weiss. Denied again. It's France peppering at the moment. And 𝐏𝐨𝐰𝐏𝐅𝐀 saved by Leolio Davis again. What a goal line hold from Australia. Maillard, the keeper, all the way up. Evans now wins the kick in.
Great defence from Australia there. Big difference between 1-0 and 2-0 or half-time if Australia can still hold it.
Evans. Maillard saves initially. 2-on-1 call. The referee is saying that Maillard perhaps left his penalty area. Or was it? No, it must have been further up the pitch in midfield.
Oh, difficult to say. And that's the difficulty with the referee's job. There's so many chairs moving around, you never know which chairs are quite within 3 metres of the ball.
So this is a big moment for Australia right at the end of the first half. Could they go in level? Have they got a set-piece manoeuvre to unlock the French defence that's only conceded once all tournament? Evans against Weiss. Both players bide their time. Weiss, now the more aggressive, and he's rewarded for that. And the half-time whistle sends France into the huddle, leading 1-0. An early own goal is the difference between the teams, and a very different-looking Australia team to what we've become accustomed to through the tournament has so far done the job. James Bellows, your thoughts at the half-time break?
Well, a great selection. A gamble. Doesn't look like a gamble now. They picked 3 players that were going to defend high, press high, and when they got quality possession and got up the other end, I feel as if the French were not as relaxed as they have been through this tournament. And again, Turnbull picked in goals, some very good saves, very good positioning, so well done.
Half-time score is France 1, Australia 0. Stay with us. You'll continue to get live pictures, and commentary will return soon for the start of the second half. Both teams back out onto the arena for the start of the second half. And it is France 1, Australia 0. A really even contest separated by just an own goal so far. Australia not making a rolling substitution at halftime, nor are the French. So it's the same four that started the match, kicking off the second 20 minutes here. And as I'm rejoined by New South Wales head Powerchair referee James Mallows, there's an early 2-on-1 going Australia's way. And very interesting to hear at halftime, the Australia bench got over and talked to the referee about the distance between the posts and how when the French players are attacking, maybe two of them are inside the width of the posts, just trying to plant the seeds in the referee's head to watch for how the French attack. I found that interesting.
Oh, you're exactly right. And it is a trend in refereeing. You tend to see the defensive 2-on-1s much more the offensive 2-on-1s. And so when a team struggles to get out of defence, maybe it's because the offence is just giving away too many positional fouls, which are not getting called.
We've got a foul here, and Beck Evans has to leave the area.
Yeah, quite a big contact there by Evans, spun into the chair of Vase.
𝐏𝐨𝐿 hasn't been his usual self in front of goal, but he's been brilliant in the midfield and defence in this game. Advantage France. Weiss cuts inside. 𝐏𝐨𝐿, Weiss shooting. Evans blocked it immediately.
Yeah, I feel as if the first goal in the second half is going to be everything. Australia would have been definitely the happier of the two sides at half-time, and they know that if they can hold them, the longer it stays 1-0, the more chance they've got. France, they want to come out, get the early goal, relax and finish it off.
Well, the confidence boost they would get from scoring against the world champions would be profound, given that France conceded just one goal in their first 6 games of this tournament. David, collision with Weiss. Cut back here, 𝐏𝐨𝐿, Lafante for a second. It hasn't crossed the line. The post has been moved. The referee's going to be really aware of where the line is now as a result. Lafante is trying to sneak it over the line by any means necessary. No one wants to commit too physically because they don't want to commit a foul. 𝐿 is just having to sit and wait. Lafante, he's the one that's got to try and get something going. French coach David 𝐏𝐵𝐵 throws his hands up in frustration on the sideline. The post has been put back in position, and that, if anything, has helped Australia to defend the penalty box. 𝐿 and Lafante continue their duel. And out it goes. Well, what an important defensive phase there for Australia.
Very, very important defence.
Now, in that situation, how difficult is it to referee when the goalpost has been moved and you have to assess whether or not the ball has crossed the line?
So the ball sits on a mark, and if the goalpost is out of position, the rule is that if the majority of the ball rolls over the line on the inside of that mark, then the goal is awarded.
Weiss. 𝐏𝐨𝐰𝐏𝐅𝐀, Mahad, the goalkeeper. Caught in possession by Evans. Australia a chance. Lafante still covering. Evans will run it, will drive it all the way to the byline. And France able to get out of danger. The 𝐿𝐨𝐿𝐴. Evans. Weiss. Australia urging their players to press up, but Weiss will counter. The 𝐿𝐨𝐴 covered the middle. And now Turnbull. Well, pass straight to 𝐏𝐨𝐼𝐏, could be dangerous. Weiss looking for Lafante. Luke David was back, vital at the time. 𝐏𝐨𝐼𝐏 now. Can't get past the combination of Turnbull and David. And the ball goes out for a corner kick. 5 minutes into the second half, no change to the halftime score.
But again, very, very strong defending by Australia. France are really up for the battle here.
So Weiss over the corner kick. Lafante blocked off the line. Good save by Turnbull. 𝐏𝐨𝐼𝐏 now with a chance. Saved again by Turnbull. And Luke David, can he clear? 𝐏𝐨𝐼𝐏 got back to cover the angles. David
Playing the advantage there.
backs off and allows the 𝐿𝐨𝐴 to take over defensive duties. But 𝐏𝐨𝐼𝐏 so clever with his movement. Really knows how to dribble with the ball. Weiss, 𝐏𝐨𝐼𝐏, Lafante turns goal bound, and the Australia defence converges. Evans now is the outlet, but presents the ball straight back to 𝐏𝐨𝐼𝐏. This could be dangerous. 𝐏𝐨𝐼𝐏, and now Evans. Time to drive. Mahad comes out. Evans trying to get an angle to turn it central. Mallard happy to oblige. The 𝐿𝐨𝐴. Oh, and Luke David backed away from the ball and allowed Brian Weiss to intervene. Better from Australia, though. Able to absorb in defence and then counter-attack.
No, exactly. The Australians, with their high press, they've turned this into an arm wrestle.
2-on-1's the call. France free kick.
And that's the difficulty with the high press. You're going to give away the odd 2-on-1. But they've turned it into an arm wrestle. The French just can't get their passing game. It's all 1-on-1s in the box at the moment, and the Australians are coping.
Could a set piece be the answer for France? Weiss. And it's off the post. 𝐏𝐨𝐼𝐏 back to Weiss. Oh, big collision, but it's the two Australians against each other. 𝐏𝐨𝐼𝐏 trying to capitalise in the chaos. And Turnbull turns it around the post. Another good save.
Great defending again. These are the pressure moments they need to defend. The longer it stays 1-0, the more they'll think they've got a chance.
They are clinging on at times, Australia. But it is still only 1-0 in about the 6th minute of the game too, so some time ago now. The 𝐿𝐨𝐴 opened up and looked up the field. It might have left a gap here. 𝐏𝐨𝐼𝐏. And it's coming back for another 2-on-1. I think Australia just instinctively all flooded back in defence there, and inevitably the 2-on-1 was given away.
Oh, they did. I feel as if French are starting to turn the tide. They're getting some really quality possession in that last third, really putting a lot of pressure on now. You wonder if the valve's going to be released.
Belated 𝐿𝐴 chance coming from the French fans. 𝐏𝐨𝐰𝐏𝐅𝐀, Weiss, straight at 𝐅𝐨𝐨𝐭𝐛𝐚𝐥𝐥. Evans trying to break out of the defensive half for Australia. Evans persists. 𝐅𝐨𝐨𝐭𝐛𝐚𝐥𝐥. Kick in going Australia's way. 𝐏𝐨𝐰𝐏𝐅𝐀. Turnbull out to the edge of the area. Evans protected the ball. Oh, flags up. 3 in the defensive penalty area is the call against Australia. Explain that one to our first-time viewers.
So again, along with the 2-on-1, you're only allowed to have 2 defenders inside the penalty box, and that allows the space that for the opposition to actually pass the ball around and to give space for some decent football. 2 defenders tracked back simultaneously there, so an easy call really for the referee to give.
And there will be gaps here. France have just got to be precise in their execution.
But again, you can see the French players, as soon as the ball is passed, they're at risk of a 2-on-1 because they're too close.
So, free kick, we wait. And the whistle goes. Free kick, France. Well, they're all debating who is far enough away from who here. Weiss, goal not given. 2-on-1. And I think that halftime briefing from Australia to the referee just paid dividends right there.
Well, that was the exact foul they give away in the first half. I made the comment before the free kick that the French player was just too close to the ball, and it was going to be a 2-on-1 as soon as the ball was kicked by Weiss there.
So no goal. 𝐏𝐨𝐰𝐏𝐅𝐀 misses out on his 16th of the tournament, and it remains 1-0 as we tick into the final 10 minutes of the game. Can Australia start to dream of an equaliser or better? Lafante fires wide. Do they turn to the bench? That's the question. This lineup has had such an incredible half an hour. Do they think about Abdullah Karim or a different player to come on and try to swing the momentum that little bit more?
Oh, look, if there was ever a super sub in the game, it's Abdullah Karim. 9 minutes to go. 1-0 is the same as 2-0 as far as Australia's concerned. So I expect Karim to come on at some stage towards the end of the half. And that will really change the dynamic of the game.
Lafante, 𝐏𝐨𝐰𝐏𝐅𝐀, or initial touch, but now he runs straight into a wall of Australian defence. Turnbull able to extract the ball and do it with France touching last.
That's a great defensive play by Turnbull there. Was able to clear it onto the cage for the Australian kick-in.
Australia are still deep in their defensive half, though. Weiss, Lafante, stopped on the line by 𝐅𝐨𝐨𝐭𝐛𝐚𝐥𝐥. Oh, that was absolutely vital. And even though it's a corner kick, Australia able to withstand another French challenge. Australian fans trying to find their voice in the crowd. And the ball deflects away. Mallard, good goalkeeping initially, but now Australia could be away. Evans, is the pass on for Luke David? It's not. And Mallard showing what a good goalkeeper he is.
Well, great goalkeeping, but a great option for Beck to win the kick-in.
And Australia have flipped the field. How long can they keep it down at their attacking end now? France had them in a vice for a good 3 or 4 minutes. Now Australia have broken away. 𝐅𝐨𝐨𝐭𝐛𝐚𝐥𝐥, Evans, 𝐏𝐨𝐰𝐏𝐅𝐀. He's been so crafty. And again, His movement is just exquisite. Able to get the better of Evans, but not 𝐅𝐨𝐨𝐿𝐿 initially. Now he does. Turnbull, oh, collision.
No, that was guard on guard. They were both going for the ball there.
Referee lets it slide.
And that's a great clearance by Evans, wins the kick in.
I think the issue for Australia is even though 𝐼𝐿𝐿 hasn't scored today, he is able to get out of the defensive half with such ease. He's able to just shimmy and use his dribble to such great effect.
Oh, if ever there's a superstar in the sport, that's 𝐼𝐿𝐿. Every time he gets the ball, it's quality. Every time he's one-on-one, he wins it. Great asset for France.
Well, danger here. 𝐼𝐿𝐿 denied by Turnbull. It was his turn to go, and he went. But he's got to be careful not to commit a 2-on-1 here because Evans is not too far away from him. The goalkeeper, Australia's most advanced player. And now, as we tick down towards the final 5 minutes, France, I think, is signalling to the fourth official that they're ready to make a change. 𝐼𝐿𝐿, Lafante, and off the post again. They have worked the 2 posts in this half, but always going out to the wrong side of them. And so we're going to see the first substitution in the game for either team, incredibly. And Lafante comes off.
And this is how much France are respecting Australia at the moment. They've now got their starting 4 that they're going to start the World Cup final with, if they make it.
And Tristan Lebelair comes on.
Yeah, ultimate respect. France don't want to concede and they want another goal.
Weiss against 𝐿𝐿𝐿. Still Weiss. 𝐿𝐿𝐿. Oh, that was absolutely a 2-on-1. The referee showing some discretion there. 5 minutes to go.
And the referee has let the game roll. You know, there's been a few 2-on-1s that may not have been called, but the game hasn't lost anything. It's a fantastic contest.
And now Weiss, the ball pinging around. Is there one more shot for 𝐿𝐿𝐿? 𝐿𝐿𝐿 gets it away. And the referee is going to whistle for a 2-on-1 here. France free kick.
Yeah, that's just 𝐿𝐿𝐿 creeping up towards the top of the box and giving the 2-on-1 away with Evans.
So can Lebelair make an instant impact here as one of the options for Weiss on this free kick? 𝐿𝐿𝐿 goes over to have a word to him. Lebelair, 𝐿𝐿𝐿, Weiss, 𝐿𝐿𝐿 again, blocked by 𝐿𝐿𝐿. Physical defending. 𝐿𝐿𝐿 knocks it out to space. Lebelair, Weiss denied by Evans. And Evans, well, it's been agonising in this half. They just haven't been able to feed the ball out to Luke David, making those escapes down the right flank. Weiss able to keep the ball rolling to his advantage. Luke David, Lebelair. Luke David trying to trap Lebelair here. And Tristan Lebelair is eventually able to find a bit of breathing space. Cuts it back. 𝐿𝐿𝐿 cleared by Turnbull. 3 minutes to go. 𝐿𝐿𝐿. And as the ball goes out, is it time for an Australia sub to... Or is 1-0 protecting the goal difference enough?
Well, if I was Australia, I'd bring on the big guns. Like I said, 1-0 is the same as 2-0. There's no protecting goal difference here. There's getting the point against the world champions. That's what the game's all about.
𝐿𝐿𝐿. Evans. David. Block tackle against Weiss. 𝐿𝐿𝐿. Back to Weiss. 𝐿𝐿𝐿. Lebelair. Weiss. 𝐿𝐿𝐿 flowing move. Ultimately foiled by Turnbull. Lebelair, though, keeps the pressure on. Ball in the corner. 𝐿𝐵𝐿𝐿. And it escapes. It did go out, but it's a French kick in regardless. And Abdullah Karim is being ordered up to the fourth official. They're going to unleash him for 90 seconds of fury at the end here. Australia need to make sure it's only a 1-0 deficit when he comes on, though. Gilami did not have the force in his finish. And it goes wide. And so, after a great shift, Australia finally break the 4 that they started the game with. Luke David comes off. Abdullah Karim comes on. And if you can score here, Australia would be the first team to avoid defeat against the reigning world champions. But he's got 1 minute to act. Weiss, oh, big rebound and ricochet, but France get whistled for the 2-on-1. And so Australia will head into their attacking half. David Bouget shouting from the France sideline. They need to organise. Karim, Evans. France kicking, 30 seconds to go. We didn't see much stoppage time at the end of a 3-3 draw between Australia and Denmark earlier today. How much will we see at the end of this KG 1-0? Weiss, Evans. Advantage France for a 2-on-1.
Oh, great goalkeeping there by Turnbull.
Gilami foiled by Turnbull. 𝐿𝐵𝐿𝐿. Turnbull again. Australia trying to break out of their defensive half. 𝐿𝐵𝐿𝐿. And clever by Evans just to let the ball run into the centre first. 𝐿𝐵𝐿𝐿 is happy to usher it back towards the sidelines. 40 minutes is up. All on the generosity of the referee from here. Evans, can they get it into open space? Weiss. France are pinning Australia back. Whistles in the mouth. Oh, and the full-time whistle goes as Abdullah Karim was trying to attack. But ultimately France hold on an early own goal, the difference. Australia absolutely dignified in a 1-0 defeat against the defending world champions, but they do not pick up any points, meaning that tomorrow they need to win their 2 remaining games and they will need friendly results in other games in order to see the semi-finals. James Mellows, your thoughts on what was an intriguing arm wrestle between these two teams?
Well, it's not often you come against a team that is averaging 6 goals a game, lose 1-0 and then disappointed. So I think the Australians, their tournament has now started. I think hopefully it hasn't started too late. 2 wins tomorrow and some favourable results, and they will be looking good for a rematch with France in that semi-final.
Well, maybe the French don't want to face Australia in that semi-final after that showing. It sets up a fascinating day tomorrow. Action starts at 10 a.m. Make sure you get down here to Quaycentre at the Sydney Olympic Park precinct if you are in the area, and you can continue to watch the streams where you are right now. On behalf of James Mellows, my name is Teo Pellizzeri. Thank you for your company on day 4 of the FIPFA 2023 Powerchair Football World Cup. We leave you with that full-time score. France 1, Australia 0.